Mustard gas, also known as sulfur mustard, is a highly toxic chemical warfare agent that inflicts severe damage to the skin, eyes, and respiratory system upon exposure. First used extensively during World War I, notably in the trenches, it infamously caused horrific injuries and casualties. During the conflict, both sides employed mustard gas, resulting in around 90,000 deaths and countless long-term health issues among soldiers. Its devastating effects continued to be felt in subsequent conflicts, such as the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, where it was used extensively by Iraqi forces against Iranian troops and civilians, leading to thousands of casualties. Mustard gas remains a potent symbol of the horrors of chemical warfare due to its indiscriminate and deadly nature, underlining the urgent need for international efforts to prevent its proliferation and use. Sarin is a highly toxic nerve agent belonging to the class of organophosphorus compounds, notorious for its devastating effects on the human nervous system. Colorless, odorless, and tasteless, sarin disrupts the transmission of nerve impulses, leading to severe symptoms such as convulsions, paralysis, and ultimately respiratory failure. Notorious examples of its use include the Tokyo subway attack in 1995, where the Aum Shinrikyo cult released sarin, resulting in the deaths of 13 people and injuring thousands more. Additionally, sarin was reportedly used in the Syrian civil war, with several instances of its deployment causing significant casualties. Even in small quantities, sarin's potency is terrifying, as it has the potential to cause mass casualties and long-lasting environmental contamination. VX is a highly toxic nerve agent belonging to the organophosphate family, renowned for its extreme potency and lethality. Developed in the mid-20th century as a chemical warfare agent, it disrupts the nervous system by inhibiting the enzyme acetylcholinesterase, leading to a cascade of symptoms including convulsions, respiratory failure, and death within minutes to hours of exposure. One notorious instance of VX use was in the assassination of Kim Jong-nam, the half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, in February 2017 at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Two women smeared a toxic nerve agent, VX, on his face, leading to his death within minutes. This incident underscores the grave danger VX poses, highlighting its potential as a tool of terror and its capacity to inflict mass casualties if deployed indiscriminately. Chlorine gas, a highly toxic and reactive chemical compound, has been infamously employed as a weapon in various conflicts throughout history, most notably during World War I. Its lethal properties stem from its ability to damage respiratory organs upon inhalation, causing severe respiratory distress, pulmonary edema, and in high concentrations, death by asphyxiation. Notorious instances include the Battle of Ypres in 1915, where German forces unleashed chlorine gas against Allied troops, resulting in thousands of casualties. Despite its pervasive industrial uses, the deadly nature of chlorine gas underscores its notoriety as a chemical weapon and the imperative for stringent controls on its production and handling. Taboon is a highly toxic nerve agent classified as a chemical weapon that was developed in Germany in the 1930s. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless, making it difficult to detect. One of the most infamous instances of its use was during the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, where it was deployed by the Iraqi government against Iranian soldiers and Kurdish civilians, resulting in thousands of casualties. Taban acts by disrupting the nervous system, causing convulsions, respiratory failure, and ultimately death if exposure is not treated immediately. Its deadly potency was tragically demonstrated in these conflicts, highlighting the devastating consequences of chemical warfare. Phosgene, a highly toxic chemical compound with the formula COCl2, is infamous for its deadly effects. Historically, it gained notoriety during World War I as a chemical weapon, causing horrific injuries. Its use in warfare exemplifies its lethality, with thousands of deaths attributed to its inhalation. Beyond military applications, phosgene has found use in industrial settings, particularly in the production of plastics and pesticides. Despite its ban in warfare under the Geneva Protocol of 1925, incidents of accidental exposure persist, highlighting its continued threat. Even in small concentrations, phosgene inhalation can lead to severe respiratory distress, pulmonary edema, and death, underscoring its potency as a chemical hazard. Hydrogen cyanide, HCN, is a highly toxic chemical compound notorious for its lethal effects. It is a colorless, highly volatile liquid with a bitter almond odor. Due to its extreme toxicity, even in small concentrations, hydrogen cyanide has been used in various historical contexts as a chemical weapon, notably during World War I by both the Allies and the Central Powers. Additionally, it has been employed in executions through gas chambers, such as in Nazi concentration camps during the Holocaust. The compound interferes with cellular respiration, leading to rapid death from asphyxiation. Its potency and fast-acting nature make it one of the deadliest chemical substances known to humanity. Agent Orange is a herbicide and defoliant chemical weapon, primarily known for its use during the Vietnam War by the United States military. Named after the orange stripe on its containers, it was employed to destroy forests and crops, depriving the enemy of cover and food supply. However, its toxic components, particularly dioxin, have led to devastating consequences. The widespread deployment of Agent Orange has resulted in severe health issues for millions of people, including Vietnam veterans, civilians, and their descendants. Exposure to Agent Orange has been linked to various cancers, birth defects, neurological disorders, and other debilitating conditions. Its lethal legacy continues to haunt affected populations, serving as a grim reminder of the lasting impact of chemical warfare. Lewisite, an organoarsenic compound, is a highly toxic chemical warfare agent notorious for its devastating effects on the human body. First synthesized in 1904, Lewisite gained infamy during World War I, where it was produced in significant quantities by both Allied and Axis powers. Its most notorious use was during the Second World War by the Imperial Japanese Army in China. The blistering agent inflicts severe burns upon contact with the skin, leading to excruciating pain and potentially fatal systemic effects if absorbed. Although its use in warfare has declined since the mid-20th century due to international bans, the threat of Lewisite remains a concern due to its persistence and deadly nature, making it a subject of ongoing disarmament efforts and chemical weapons treaties. Novichok agents, a group of nerve agents developed by the Soviet Union in the 1970s and 1980s, are among the deadliest chemical weapons known to humankind. These organophosphate compounds disrupt the nervous system, leading to a cascade of debilitating and often lethal effects. Novichok gained international notoriety in 2018 when it was used in the poisoning of former Russian spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia in Salisbury, England, leading to widespread condemnation and diplomatic fallout. Another prominent case occurred in 2020 when Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was poisoned with Novichok, further raising concerns about its accessibility and use. The lethality of Novichok agents is starkly evident in these incidents, underscoring the grave risks they pose to human health and international security.